Hey, what's up guys? John here. We live in a very fascinating time. It's fascinating for many reasons. One, we're witnessing the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. We're also witnessing what I believe is the greatest division among people that we've ever seen throughout our lifetimes. Big tech and a lot of these corporations benefit greatly by pushing a certain narrative and agenda that we're generally racist and bad people. And what that ultimately does is it severs the connection between human beings, and ultimately, if we don't like and trust other people, we're going to spend our money and our attention online. And this works out quite well for big tech. Now, Facebook is doing something that is very fascinating that I think we should all pay close attention to. They are now pursuing Black and Indigenous people with a real estate fund of $5 million, which is next to nothing. This is a starter fund for them in South LA, which is a gentrifying community. And they want to step in and essentially manage and help these people, as they say, operate their buildings better. This is something that we should greatly pay attention to because I think that this trend will likely continue to grow as mom and pop businesses start getting faded out over the coming 6 to 12 to 18 months. And then big tech is sitting on all this money, this many, many billions of dollars, essentially toilet paper money, that they need to roll into hard assets like small scale multifamily real estate. And with technology, they're able to manage many hundreds of thousands or possibly millions of doors with outsourcing, with just simply just technology and virtual assistants. They're able to scale, grow, and efficiently manage real estate at a level that we've never dreamed of being possible. With that being said, please smash that like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube's going to share the content, and the more people that see it, the more people that become aware and exposed as to what these people are really trying to do here. So please hit that like button and let's begin. I believe Zuckerberg chose South LA for a variety of reasons. First and foremost, Gavin Newsom signed into law SB 1079 in December, so about 5 months ago. And what this is it allows corporations no access to the foreclosures, but philanthropic organizations, tenants, government agencies, and nonprofits, they can buy these foreclosed properties without competition. Think of it as a no-bid contract like what many politicians are offering now, and basically it gives them no competition. They can basically go in there and buy these properties for pennies on the dollar. So ultimately, what he's doing is he's saying he's helping Black and Indigenous people going into these communities, knowing that odds are that their tenants are not going to have the money to pay rent, and their businesses, the landlords' businesses, are greatly going to be impacted going forward. So essentially, what they're doing now is kind of getting a first right of refusal on all these properties. Listen to what they're saying, really what they're saying between the lines. Mark Zuckerberg's wife fund a program for South LA landlords. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg and his wife Priscilla Chan are funding a program to support small South Los Angeles landlords. The Chan Zuckerberg Initiative joined other nonprofits and the Coalition for Responsible Community Development to distribute $5 million, which is nothing to them, to landlords. According to LA Times, the program is called the Los Angeles Local Renters Owners Collaborative. The money is meant to cover back rent and property repairs. Mom and pop landlords have been among the hardest hit business owners during the pandemic. The goal is to keep local landlords out of financial distress that could force them to sell assets to operators that have little connection to the community and have fewer qualms about raising rents or forcing out tenants. The program, which launched Thursday, will also provide financial coaching for small landlords, including helping them pool resources to gain discounts on insurance, mortgages, and legal services. So these landlords, they know how to collect rent. They are small mom and pop landlords. Many of them have owned their buildings for decades. Essentially, the laws today say tenants don't have to pay rent if they have been impacted by the pandemic. So what will coaching do to change the fact that their tenants are not paying rent? Nothing. And the discounts on mortgages, insurance, legal services. Now, insurance rates have been going up. Some say because of climate change, others say because of rising lumber and construction costs due to the pandemic. And what they're doing now is they're gaining this small grip over the landlord and telling them how to manage and operate their own asset. A McKinsey report found that 8 in 10 LA County homes that are affordable to households with income at 80% of median income are rented at those prices because the landlord chose to do so. Those units are not supported by government subsidy or other aid. 3 out of 4 of those so-called naturally occurring affordable units are owned by individuals, according to the LA Times. To qualify for an LA Local Renter Owners Collaborative, a landlord must have one tenant behind on rent and own between 2 and 20 units and own property in historic South Central, South Park, or Central Alameda. The program is intended to help BIPOC landlords, Black, Indigenous, and people of color. Landlords and tenants have been quick to apply the rent relief offered the state, California, and the city of LA. The state had 20,000 applications within the first day of launching the program last month. It's really smart for their business model. It's really unfortunate for the everyday citizens inside of the community and inside this new normal, as they say. But what I think is very likely to happen here is this continues, where they do a lot of things designed for the people of color, whether it be new universal basic income pilot programs or other types of programs. They want to really drill in this racism, this whole card, to get us to a point to where we don't support that local community. The local community falls apart, as well as the middle class and the lower income levels. And then these big tech, these big corporations run out there and start seizing property by the hundreds of thousands or millions of doors at a time, to where it becomes real renter nation. And then ultimately what we're likely going to see happen is our quality of life greatly be reduced, simply because how can our quality of life increase if everyone's out of work? Well, it can't. It can't. That being said, this is the biggest power grab that I believe is happening with Facebook. And I think that Zuckerberg will be one of the greatest landlords in terms of units owned in America. Not the most ethical, not the greatest human, that's for sure, but the greatest, being top 10, top 5 landlords in the country, coming very, very soon. If we really look at philanthropy as a whole, many times it's a cover-up. It's a cover-up for power, it's a cover-up for our safety, it's a cover-up for our health and well-being, and meanwhile, the people pushing the agenda behind the philanthropy are gaining more power and control than they could have ever imagined possible. If we look at the Rockefeller Foundation, he invested $2 million initially and then $180 million later. And he is famous for the quote, "I want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers." And that organization funded the school board that essentially educates nearly all of us in America. It's really incredible, right? You look at Bill Gates. Bill Gates with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they said that their best investment was that foundation because it gets a 20-to-1 return. 20-to-1. Imagine you invested $1 million and you made $20 million. And that is all based on, everything that they do. Now, with Zuckerberg and his initiatives, we can guarantee that he's not just giving away free money. That is a definite. If anything, what we're going to see is likely this scale out and grow amongst other tech companies, and we're going to start to see this spiral out of control. This is going to be something that we can really appreciate, standing back and looking at this transition and transfer of wealth and seeing what we can be doing now to become aware, and not just that, take action on opportunities, distressed opportunities, as they become available for all of us. With that being said, some people have a hard time looking at emotionally what's happening and saying, it's predatory to go buy properties, or you shouldn't be doing that, or shouldn't be doing this. But at the end of the day, you look at these companies, what they're doing, you look at Big Brother, and you look at a lot of the politicians inside of, even New York City, for example, they have small buyout funds for distressed landlords there. The same with LA and California. And what they're doing is they're gaining this power and this control. And so if we stand back on the sidelines and we're not smart and educated and have a clear understanding of what's really going on, how do we expect to compete in this new technocratic world that we're going to be stepping into? So with that being said, study real estate, learn real estate, and really come up with a really good business plan, because I believe that we are not out of the woods here. I think that ultimately 2020 was just a warm-up for what's to come, and 2021 is going to guide us into what will be our new normal in 2022 and beyond. With that being said, please drop your comments below. What do you think about all this with Zuckerberg and Facebook? And please smash that like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube's going to share the content and educate more people. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Consider subscribing for more content on personal finance, real estate, business, and money. All right, guys, see you in the next video. Hey, if you'd like to learn how to get started on YouTube, click the link in my bio. It's a free live training. And if you'd like to learn how to invest in cash flowing multifamily real estate for beginners, there's a link there as well. All right, guys.